There are three main types of karma and subdivisions. Three types of karma are positive karma, neutral karma, and negative karma. Karma is a Sanskrit word for action. Action or deed. What you're doing. So if I knock this over, it's karma. What karma is just a word that's been used over and over and over, even sometimes as a joke. But karma actually means action. Simply action. So good action, bad action, neutral action. Good action is determined when whatever you do, via your body, your speech and mind, benefits others and oneself. Bad action is any act that you do that creates harm and unhappiness to others and oneself. Neutral action is any action that brings no harm and brings no good to others. For example, eating. Just neutral action. So, good karma or good actions create a positive good result. Negative actions create a negative result. It's very simple. Therefore, what rebirth you take, the environment that you take it in, and the situation that you have to go through, and the form that you have to go through, and positive and negative feelings, and positive and negative experiences that you have to go through, all is dependent on karma. All karma or all action definitely has a result. Definitely will have a result. All action cannot be without result. It also operates on continuity basis. Whether the results come to you quickly, whether the results come to you slowly, still the result will definitely come. Then, on that basis, we can base the theory of reincarnation. Now, along with reincarnation, there must be deeds or acts. Without deeds and acts, people cannot just wander around until they get a new rebirth. If there is the doctrine of karma, then it would explain very clearly why some people are very attractive, why some people are unattractive, why some people are born in very good places, happy places, and some people in unhappy places. Why some people have a lot of illness and sickness, and some people have very healthy bodies. Why some people are born in pleasant environments, where they can get food and water and get jobs easily, and some people are born in unpleasant environments. Unpleasant. In Buddhism, we do not accept or deny a God theory. It is something that we do not worry about at this moment. It is not a denial, it is not an acceptance. What we concentrate on is deeds and actions at this moment. Because if you do good things and you do positive things, definitely you'll have a positive result. If you do negative things and you do harmful things, you will have harmful results. Whether there's a God up there punishing you or rewarding you, or whether there is karma giving you the fruitioning of your actions or the ripening of your actions, at this point is not a big concern for us. But if you operate on a Hindu or Buddhist thought, which is karma, then you will be careful of your actions, how you speak to others, what you do to others, how you interact and how you react to others, on the basis that these negative actions that you do or positive will fruition back upon you. If you operate on a God theory, which is if you do good actions, it is recorded and you will be rewarded in heaven. Or if you do negative things and harm your whole life, and when you die, you will be condemned to hell. If that theory helps you to do positive things, that is alright. If the theory of karma helps you to do positive things, that is alright. No difference. No difference. There is no conflict. We shouldn't make it a conflict. We shouldn't see it as a conflict because there is no conflict. The ultimate that we want out of this is a good, positive, harmonious society. And this society being harmonious and kind to the environment and the beings that abide there, such as the animals and the spirits. Everyone to abide in harmony, in happiness, in respect of each other. This is the goal of all religious practice. So if the goal of all religious practice is that, if that person likes to do that on the basis of God, it's alright. If that person likes to do it on the basis of karma, that's alright. Because when this guy gets charity, he's thinking, oh, in the future, I will get charity, so I will do good charity. And this guy will say, oh, I will be rewarded in heaven, so he does charity. When these two meet, when we look from the outside, they're both doing charity. They're both helping people. They're both assisting. There's no difference. These two people don't need to argue. If there's a God, if there's a karma, there's God and there's no karma, and then therefore don't do charity and just argue back and forth, back and forth. That's illogical. No need to argue. No need to clarify with each other. What you believe, what helps you, is perfect. The enlightened ones or the Buddhas do not manifest only in the form of a Buddha with slanty eyes, or in India, or as Jesus or as Muhammad. They will manifest in all forms, as Jesus, as Muhammad, as Buddha, as Krishna, etc., 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 all over this world system to benefit people, to teach a doctrine that will benefit people according to time, place, culture, and environment. These beings will manifest and teach you how to become kind, compassionate, harmonious individuals. The method they teach you will be according, again, to time, culture, environment, situation. Which church, which synagogue is the true synagogue, true church, true mosque, etc., etc. We have wasted our whole lives arguing and not doing any spiritual practice. We have wasted the opportunity to actually utilize the purpose of these places, the purpose of these doctrines, to become a better human being. Instead of utilizing these doctrines, these holy doctrines, to become a better human being, we have used these doctrines in the opposite direction, which from that creates conflict, disharmony, unhappiness. It is like the example I gave yesterday. If you don't know how to drive a car and you bang it up, it doesn't mean that the car is bad or the maker is bad, the dealer. It means that you don't know how to drive it. Whatever theory that you would like to operate on in your lives, whatever theory, even as a non-religious person, a person that does not want to take any religion, but has respect for his fellow person, his environment, and other beings, has respect, and on that basis of ethics, morality, and respect, treat others kindly, and develop himself mentally. That is okay. Because in the end, at the moment of truth, when the time of death comes, if there's a heaven, we'll all go there. If there's not a heaven, if there's karma, we'll all take a good rebirth. If there is neither, according to the non-religious person, still, you have not wasted your life. You have lived your life as a real human being and not an animal that fights and secures its own den and territory and hunts and scavenges for food all day long and procreates the young. We are not animals. We have a higher purpose. We have a higher intelligence. We have a higher ability. This ability can be made to put into development of the mind. If this is put into development of the mind, then we can go very far. If this is put toward the development of just wealth, position, power, games, entertainment, fun, if it's just used for this, then actually this great ability is wasted. Because lasting happiness definitely cannot come from outer physical objects. If happiness can come from outer physical objects, then the more physical outer objects that we have, the happier we must become. If happiness was based on good appearance, then every single beautiful person in the world, all the supermodels, all the super male models, all of them, should be very, very happy. All the film stars should be extremely happy, so happy that they have no time to cry and have any kind of distress. If we read these kind of magazines, all they have is unhappiness. If happiness was based on wealth, then every single person that has wealth in this world should be completely happy, free of problems. If happiness was based on having friends, then the more friends we have, the less lonely we must feel, the more loving and the more love we must feel, the more comfort and the more, happiness we must feel. But in fact, if we have wealth, we know why the friends are coming. If we don't have wealth, we look around, very rare friends, no friends. Friends also, you cannot base your happiness on. And also, if you base your happiness on an object that is transitory and transient and that passes, as soon as that object changes, or that transitory nature takes effect. For example, your friend moves away, your friend dies, your car is stolen, your car is banged up, your wealth is lost overnight on the shares or whatnot. The minute you lose it, then unhappiness comes. So if you base your happiness on that, there are many faults. The fault of transientness or impermanence. The fault that this object cannot be the one that brings you happiness. If it is, the more you have, the happier you should be. The more joyous you should be. In fact, when we check it, it is not. Happiness is a state of mind. Happiness is a state of mind. If happiness is a state of mind, then that mind must be developed. How can an outer physical object create a state of mind? It can supplement a state of mind. For example, if you eat good foods and you keep your body well and you're not so uncomfortable, okay, it can help. It can assist. But it is not the cause or the real cause. It is an environmental or temporary cause to your happiness. It is not the ultimate cause. Real happiness comes about from inner disarmament or freedom from one's own negative traits, negative delusions. Delusions such as ignorance, hatred, desire. From ignorance, hatred, desire, jealousy, craving, dissatisfaction, anger, etc., 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 will arise. When these negative emotions arise and propel you to do something negative and therefore get a negative result, that is when unhappiness comes. That is when unhappiness comes. If you have two cups, one is a better cup and one is a worse cup, and your friend comes along and takes a better cup, and you get upset, your happiness is not based on that cup. Your happiness is not complete because you do not have giving. You do not have rejoicing, and you are attached. You have desire. Because you have desire, you will argue with your friend and say, why are you so greedy? And you took the better cup and you left me the worst cup. In fact, if you weren't greedy, you wouldn't even be attached or worried about which cup you took as long as you got the cup. Because you yourself are very greedy and you yourself are very attached, coming from desire. When he takes that, you feel unhappy. But the deluded mind tricks you into saying, no, my happiness is dependent on that cup. So he took that cup, the better cup. Therefore, I am unhappy. But in fact, if you investigate clearly, the unhappiness is not that cup. It is a situation in which your state of mind has been reflected on. Therefore, when we see that cup and it's taken away and we see the worst cup and we take that home, every time we see it, we reinforce that. We recondition ourselves to think, oh, he took that bad cup. He's a bad person. He's an evil person. He's not really my friend. I am unhappy. And then people who concentrate on that very much over and over and over again become crazy or become neurotic or become extremely attached, possessive. And therefore, they apply that possessiveness to other aspects of their life, to their husbands, to their wives, to their glasses, their jewelry, their cars, their furniture, their house, their office, their bank accounts, etc., 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 etc. And therefore, when one of these things are taken away, one of these things fall, or one of these things do not produce our desired results, we experience unhappiness. And therefore, we point at the source of unhappiness at that particular situation, that particular person, that particular object. We have pointed it. And then, again, we further delude ourselves into that. Then, by that deluded state of mind in which we have perceived that our unhappiness has come from that object, for example, that person who has taken that cup from us, then we proceed to create negative results, negative karma, which is we call up the person. At first, we say nicely, most of us, can I have that cup back and you can take the other one? And the other person say, no, I got it first. You say, well, how come you got it first? I thought you'd be polite and take the other one and I'll take this one. And then arguments, and then fighting, negative karma to speech. More anger, more unhappiness, That every time you see this person, you feel angry. Maybe you even go to the extent of going there and beating him up, having a nice fight. Maybe you call it a gang on him. Maybe you have some power or position to get him locked up in jail from a simple thing. And therefore, every single action that you do out of hate and desire, now hate has come in. Every single action will create a mental imprint in your mind, a mental seed in your mind, a mental karmic imprint, in your mind, which will fruition at a later time, at a later situation. And if that imprint was negative in this case, then you will get negative results. For example, if you speak very harsh words out of hatred and desire and ignorance, any of these three poisons or these three delusions, if you speak any harsh words on the basis of these three to that person, you have collected a karma of the speech that is negative. Therefore, as a result, as spoken by the Buddha, in your future life, you will take rebirth in an environment that is very dry, that is very rough, that is very dirty, and the simple things or the simple needs you need to live, such as water and shelter, are going to be very difficult. To get water, you must travel miles and miles or kilometers and kilometers to walk in hot sun, barefooted, on thorns and rocks, just to get that water and bring it back, and go through so much effort, even to get a job or to collect firewood, or to grow something in your garden, or to grow something to eat. Or if you grow something, some kind of, how to say, drought comes along. Bad weather conditions destroy it. From that harsh speech that you have given to other people, when you shout at people, when you say negative things at people, when you say harsh words at people with the three delusions as the motivating factor, you will create a situation that you will be reborn in a negative environment. Now you may say, how can such a few words create such an energy? It can. How can a small seed bear such a great apple tree or orange tree or pear tree? It's just a small teeny little seed. Yes, it may be a small little seed, but it has the potential to grow into something big. Like that, although the karma is very small, it's very minute at this time, then it will increase, it will become bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.